What's going on, plugins? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to talk about Trent Noah and what players Kentucky could be added from the transfer portal. Before we get into this video, make sure you drop a like, and if you're new here, sub to the channel and become a part of the family. Now let's get into the video. Kentucky just added a player to their 2024 recruiting class. Trent Noah is a 3-star small forward, according to 24/7 Sports, ranked 108. He was committed to South Carolina, but actually released from his national letter of intent and reopened his recruitment. He's a Kentucky native, so everyone figured he was going to the University of Kentucky, and that's exactly what happened. This is what Mark Pope had to say about him committing. Trent Noah is one of the elite shooters in his class. He's a tough, hard-nosed player with a special physicality. As an Eastern Kentucky native, Trent will bring a grit, toughness, and determination to this program. So it seems like Mark Pope's excited to have a player like Trent Noah on the roster, and he believes in his skill set. Trent Noah is a 6'6" small forward. He played for Harlan County High School. During his senior season, he averaged 29.9 points, 10.4 rebounds, shooting 56% from the field, 43% from three, and 88.9% from the free throw line. He's one of the best three-point shooters in the 2024 class, and I feel like he's an underrated player. He scored 3,707 points in his high school career and broke his school's all-time scoring record. He went crazy in the playoffs, averaging 32.3 points per game. He led his team to the state championship game, but he lost to Travis Perry. The funny thing is, him and Travis Perry are going to be teammates at Kentucky. Mark Pope just paired up two of the best three-point shooters in the state. It would be cool if these two players can lead Kentucky to a national championship in the next couple of years. Trent Noah could have a nice role and make a big impact during his freshman season. I can see him being a 3-and-D player coming off the bench. He can shoot lights out from three, being a catch-and shooter and a spot-up shooter. So he's going to give a boost for a Kentucky team that already has a bunch of great three-point shooters. The one thing I want to point out is that he shows up in big-time games. He has some big scoring nights in the playoffs, like 35 points in the first round and 48 points in the second round. His team needed scoring in those games to advance. In March Madness, he could have some big-time scoring nights for Kentucky. On defense, he should be solid. Like Mark Pope stated in that quote, he said Trent Noah will bring grit and toughness to the team, so he's going to bring 100% effort on the defensive side of the ball, and he has good size, being 6'6", 200 pounds. So my prediction, he's going to be a great two-way player for Kentucky. He would get solid minutes during his freshman season. Since he's a great three-point shooter, Coach Pope will find ways to get him into the rotation. I'm excited to see how he'll do during his freshman season. Now let's talk about three players that Mark Pope's trying to get from the transfer portal. The first player is 6'4" guard Chaz Larrier, who averaged 19.7 points, 4.8 rebounds, 1.8 assists, shooting 51% from the field and 44% from three for North Florida. He had a breakout season. The last 2 seasons, he was averaging 4 points per game, so his numbers took a huge jump, and a lot of colleges are trying to get him. It seems like Tennessee was a lock to get him since he's from Tennessee, but now it looks like Kentucky has a good chance to get him. Mark Pope added him to the roster, will give the team another scorer in the backcourt. Last season, he had 4 games with 30 or more points and 15 games with at least 20 points. He's a bucket from all 3 levels. This will give Kentucky a player who can score from anywhere on the court and can do it at a high level. He can get to the rim, making 66% of his shots. He was 44% from three. He can knock down jump shots. Kentucky doesn't have a 3-level scorer who can score the ball like he can. Y'all feel what I'm saying, plugins? He's at his best scoring off screens, dribble handoffs, and being an ISO scorer. Mark Pope's going to need one player who can ISO and create his own shot and get you a bucket in crunch time, and Chaz Larrier is the perfect player for that. He did everything scoring-wise for North Florida. At Kentucky, he's going to have elite teammates who are also great scorers, so this is going to allow him to get easier looks. So I won't be shocked that he's leading the team in points, averaging about 20 points per game. So Coach Pope needs to try his best to get him because he's an elite scorer. You can't pass up on a player like that. 6'5" guard Ugo Popper averaged 13.1 points, 4.8 rebounds, 2.1 assists, shooting 42.6% from the field and 38.5% from three. He was a streaky scorer last season. Miami was 10-3 when he shot over 50% or better from the field, and was 4-12 when he shot less than 50% from the field. He had 10 games where he shot less than 40% from the field on 10+ shots. So he had a lot of games during the season where he wasn't shooting the ball well. When he's shooting the ball well, his team does well, but when he's struggling taking a bunch of shots, he can hurt the team. At Kentucky, he won't be asked to be the top scorer or the main option in the offense, but him being a streaky shooter could be good for Kentucky, because if he's on fire feeling it some games, he could help them win games. He's a great player in transition, and he can create his own shot, and who knows, maybe Coach Pope can make him a more consistent scorer. Also, he's a very athletic player who's a great downhill scorer. He's the type of player that can put you on a poster, so I wouldn't jump with him if he's driving to the rim. He might look good in this offense, so overall he's a solid scorer. He's just streaky. The last player is Jaxson Robinson, who played for BYU. He averaged 14.2 points, 2.5 rebounds, 1.3 assists, shooting 42.6% from the field and 35.4% from three. He had a career year last season season, being the team's leading scorer with 14.2 points per game. The season before that, he was only averaging 8.5 points. So playing for Coach Pope for 2 years, he improved his game a lot, and he won Big 12 Sixth Man of the Year. He's considered in the NBA draft right now, but if he decides to return to college, Kentucky are going to be the favorites because of the connection with Coach Pope. Jaxson Robinson is a great three-point shooter, but he's at his best when he can break down defenders and get to the rim. A lot of Kentucky fans want him to come. Jaxson Robinson would be a nice addition to the team. He already knows Mark Pope's offense, so he can slide right in and have no problems. So we'll see if he stays in the NBA draft or he returns to college. The roster's looking really good right now, adding Trent Noah to the 2024 recruiting class, keeping a player in state. He's going to be a good piece to have, and Kentucky's going to have him for a few years, so he's going to be a key player for the future of the program. Mark Pope has been doing a great job in the transfer portal. He doesn't need much at this point. He just needs to add a few more players to complete the roster. Hopefully he gets 1 or 2 players that I mentioned in this video. Kentucky fans seem like they're excited for the season, and they love how the roster's starting to look, so we're going to see if Mark Pope can finish the offseason with a bang. How do y'all feel about Trent Noah committing to Kentucky? Out of the 3 players I named in this video, who do y'all want to transfer to Kentucky the most? Drop y'all opinions in the comments, drop a like on the video, and sub to the channel. Turn on post notifications so you know when I post. I got more videos on the way. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you in the next video. Till next time.